Hey Adam, hey Global. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I guess I could always count on an Auto World joke from Adam every time it comes on now. Yeah, actually, that screw is really tight. I don't know what I was thinking of that one. Well, I used my drill, so obviously I went a little too deep on that one. Anyway, I'm just finishing up cleaning the track. I'm mostly done, but thought I'd show you guys. I don't know if in the light here you can kind of see how dirty this section is, and it's kind of scuffed up, like right there gives you a good example. But you can see, like, this section I already cleaned. This whole section looked like, well, this is still needs to be cleaned here, but I already cleaned all the rest of the track. I didn't want to bore you guys with watching me clean the whole track. So I sanded down all the rails with my, this is a 220 grit. Sometimes I use 320, but this is pretty worn out. I need to actually get a new one. It's not really that rough anymore, but you know, you use a pretty fine grit. It's one of these sanding blocks. Most of these scratches happen from using this sanding block. It's not really a scratch, it's more like just smudge. It comes off. So when I clean the rails, it makes the track look horrible. I remember the first time I cleaned the rails with the block, I was like, oh my God, I'm ruining the track. I put so many what I thought were scratches. But the WD-40 takes all these marks out. That's why I use it. I know a lot of people don't like to use WD-40. They say you shouldn't really use something that's like a lubricant or slippery on your track because the cars won't have as good a traction, which is true for the first few laps. But I try to clean it off as good as I can after I put the WD-40. But it works for me, and I haven't found anything that cleans off these scuff marks like the WD-40 does. So I continue to use it. I used to follow up with like an Armor All cleaning wipe, which did a good job of taking away though I like leaving a little bit of the WD-40 on the rails because it helps keep the oxidation and corrosion down. So that's just my method. Everybody's a little different. It's a type. It's a Sintra. It's called Sintra material. It's like an air-filled PVC, so it's a little bit soft. It's actually, I've gone over this and mentioned this quite a few times with this Sintra track. Viper made two different tracks: the Sintra, which comes in black and white, and then a premium material, which was like $400 more, which is a harder PVC. I think if I had to do it over again, I would have got the better material because, see if I can find a few spots. I mean, you could see how, before I put this guard on, you could see how chewed, that was, all these chips are just from cars crashing into the side of the track. It really kind of, this Sintra material really kind of chips up pretty easily. And if you drop something on it, you're going to put a dent in it. So it's a little bit a little bit softer than I would prefer personally. I mean, the track's over a year old now. I mean, it's held up okay, but I could definitely see every time I raced, I seem to find a new like kind of mark in the track. But it's, you know, it's a track. It gets used. People are going to crash. It's not going to look brand new forever. Got on here. Hey Sean, hey John. So I'm going to clean up this last little section, and then I'm going to clean up this last little piece, get this done, and then I'm going to work on some of my cars for next week's race. So. So what I do is I just take a paper towel, I take my WD-40, I just spray a little bit. I don't go, you know, crazy with it, just a couple little squirts on the towel. If you can kind of see. And then try and show you like these scuff marks right here. Kind of see how this WD-40 really kind of takes them all out. Kind of makes it look new again. So like if you section here. So this is the section I'm cleaning from here right to here. I've already cleaned all of this, but I'll kind of show you the before. You can see all these scuff marks. I'll go ahead and clean this real quick. Show you the after. I mean, it doesn't really leave a film on the track, but I clean it with the WD-40, and you can see that most of that dirt is really from the sanding block. It just makes a mess. But then I wipe it down with after I rub on the WD-40, I wipe the whole thing down with a plain, just a clean paper towel. And then I go over it yet again with another clean paper towel to get off as much of the WD-40 as possible. But no, it does not really leave a film. I mean, unless you don't wipe it off good. And you can see, like you can see how wet it looks. I'll show you. Like when I first put it on, you could see how shiny and wet. That looks pretty darn slick, right? You wouldn't want to run your cars over that. That's pretty much clean. Now I'm going to wipe it down just to dry. So you can see that's That's the section that was all shiny before. Probably a little bit of shine right here. I usually follow up with wiping it down a couple of times with dry. The only thing that stinks is sometimes it catches and tears, and then I got to go around and look in the slots, because using the paper towel has its drawbacks, where it leaves pieces of the paper towel in the slot, sometimes pretty badly, that it'll actually stop the car if I forget to go around and look. Usually on this S turn here, yeah, like you can see, I don't know if you guys can see right there, like that's from the paper towel. So I go around with a toothpick and I check all the slots. Like there's some right there, so I gotta do a little cleanup of the slots after I do my rail cleaning. So I'm gonna do that real quick, if you guys don't mind. Yeah, I don't know that I would use rubbing alcohol on it long term. I think that might maybe dry out the track material. I don't know. This method was what was recommended actually by Viper, to use the sanding block and use the WD-40. So that's what I've been using. It seems to do a pretty good job. Yeah, if you don't clean out all that lint, it'll stop your car pretty quick. It doesn't get a lot, but I still have to go look down each slot really and kind of pull out any. It seems to happen more over on the turns there, not so much on the straightaways. I also have one of these little mini vacs that I bought that I use on the blower side to kind of blow out the slots. I won't bore you guys with that either. I could finish doing that later. I don't think I see any more big pieces of lint or paper towel stuck in the. There's a piece there. And usually what I do is I'll just run a car a few laps around each lane just to make sure everything's running good. Usually have to blow a lot of lint out of the car. I usually use a Viper with albino tires. Hi, Dennis. Oh, you probably hear my air conditioner. Like the phone is literally right. The AC, wall AC unit in the garage here. I'm going to assume that's probably what you hear, or was it the hand vac that I was using? One thing I do love is how fast and how well the cars run after I clean the rails. You don't realize how the rails start to get oxidized, and the cars still run, but man, after you clean your track, well, you guys probably know if you have tracks and clean them, but it's like, oh yeah, that's how. Looks pretty good. Not a bunch of lint or anything stuck on the car, so that's a good sign. See, even I'm not driving the They Killed Kenny corner very well. like to take another quick look. Sometimes with the guide pin going through, it catches the lint from the paper towel and it balls it up. So sometimes there's some spots I can fish out some more with my toothpick. This S-turn always seems to be the worst as far as collecting lint. That looks pretty good. All right, so track is nice and clean. You can see how nice and white it looks. There's no tire marks. Usually when the guys come over and race, especially if they're using black tires, you could clearly see all the tire marks on the track. But I'm going to move over to the workbench now because I want to take a look at some of my cars. Yeah, I do that too, John. Depending on what I'm using to clean the track, sometimes I use like a Scotch-Brite pad, and that leaves a lot of little pieces of material left on the track. So usually I follow up with a vacuum with a brush when I use that. But when I use the sanding pad and the WD-40, I really don't need to vacuum it. But sometimes I use this kind of scrubby thing, but this one is so, it's really not very abrasive anymore. I need to get a new pad for it, but it's nice to be able to hold this. But this does leave a lot of little pieces of green, material on the track if you use a Scotch-Brite pad. It does work though, cleans the rails pretty good. Hey Mark, how often do I do the track cleaning? Well, depends on how lazy I'm being. No, usually almost always once a week, and especially if guys come over and race and the track gets dirty. I mean, I have a Swiffer lint thing that I use to just get the lint and wipe the track down, but as far as cleaning the rails, almost weekly I clean my rails because I feel like I see the oxidation getting on the rails, and my track is in the garage here, which someone commented in Florida. I don't leave the AC running 24/7 in my garage, so yeah, just if I kind of feel like the cars aren't running as good as they should, but it's usually weekly. maybe every 10 days or so. Oh, cool, Mark. Yeah, I wish I could have went 4x16, but 4x14 was really as big as I could comfortably fit in here. That's cool, Sean. Yeah, like I said, sometimes I use the WD-40 cleaning wipes. Obviously, not WD-40 protectant wipes, but not WD-40. I'm sorry, Armor All. The Armor All cleaning wipes. They don't leave any residue. They do a pretty good job. If my track is not really that dirty and I don't want to do the whole WD-40 routine, I might just wipe the whole track down with those Armor All cleaning wipes, and then I wipe it down with a clean paper towel after I use those Armor All cleaning wipes. The Armor All cleaning wipes get the black tire marks off reasonably well, but I have to work harder at it than the WD-40 is just like magic on this Sintra material. It just really cleans them really well. Cleans the scuff marks and tire marks off without any effort, really. I was going to go out to Vero today to practice on the track there because next Saturday is the club races at Vero this month, so I'll be back out there. But last night I went and saw Sammy Hagar Best of Both Worlds tour. They opened up here in West Palm Beach. It's literally right down the street from me, 10 minutes at the Florida Fairgrounds at the I Think Amphitheater. It was really, really good show. If you like Van Halen music, I don't think you're going to get another opportunity to see live Van Halen songs performed at that level. And Joe Satriani played guitar, and he did an amazing job of, covering what Eddie Van Halen would have done. Everyone knows how much I love Eddie, but it was a really good show. Had a good time. And Loverboy opened up for them, and Loverboy actually was pretty good. They had a lot of hit songs too back in the day, so it was a good night, good times. Other than it was hot as hell. Oh my God, I must have sweat out 5 pounds last night. Yeah, I'll tell you, Sammy's in his 70s, and he was out there. He was doing his thing. But yeah, I was really. I mean, I've seen Van Halen a lot going back all the way to the '80s, and it was nice to kind of see those songs live again because I don't think anybody else is gonna be able to do it as well as those guys did last night. And Michael Anthony, the original Van Halen bassist, is in Sammy's band, and he's been with Sammy for a long time, so kind of have half of Van Halen there, half of the Sammy era with Michael Anthony on bass, and Jason Bonham was on drums. Joe Satriani, like I said, on guitar, and then they had a guy that was like a multi-instrumentalist playing keyboards and rhythm guitar. Some guy from Australia. He was good too. It was great musicians, good time. Yeah. So what I wanted to do here was look at my cars for next. These are kind of my primary 2 spec racers and ceramic super stock cars, and I'm just going to kind of give them a final little tune up and oil and get them run the few laps with each one of them and get them ready for practice at the track early next week, because even though they run good on my track, I don't put too much weight in how well they run on my track because it's a whole different layout there, and different corners, and yeah. I've had times where I thought my cars were running so good on my track here, which they were, and then I get to the track I'm racing on, and it's like, wait a minute. Why am I de-slotting so much? I am showing my age, right? With the 80s hair metal. Well, I was born in 65, so the 80s were my heyday for music. I still love all that 80s rock. I like some contemporary stuff too, but and this is my box stock car, which is a Super 7. Our box stock class has to be the non-balanced armature Super 7 with these bigger non-CNC front tires. You can change the rear. You could put dual flange rear hubs in any tires you want on the rear. That's about all you can do to it. So this is my, as you can see, this car's been glued. It literally cracked the whole car in half right there. I lost a big chunk there and did a horrible job gluing that little spot back on. And then this is my spec stock class car. I kind of sacrificed a nice body here, and the last time I raced I actually chipped the rear spoiler there. But I have this car new in the package up on my wall, but probably could have picked a less desirable, less expensive GT40 body to turn into a race car. But so the spec stock class is usually a Viper. It's a level 4 non-balanced stock V-spec. You can put independent front end if you want. You could put the max traction. It's a level 4 car, and you can put whatever rear tires and hubs that you want on it. It's kind of a fun class. I like this box. It's called spec stock class. And then these are my two okay, Sean, so we're pretty close to the same age. You might be a little older than me. I was born late in December of 65, so I really like these Sluggo silly sponge tires. These are my two primary cars. This is my number 1 car. This is my number 2. Although they're so close, it's really hard to say. See how they run, and sometimes I swap. These are 414 rear tires, and these are 416s. I slit my finger open trying to open a couple of beers last night. I didn't have a bottle opener, and I paid the price. Of course, then I got smart and I just asked somebody in the parking lot, "Hey, you got a bottle opener?" And these are my two, number 1 and number 2 spec racer cars. These are all Fusions. This is a clear chassis. And this is a blue chassis. The blue chassis, the magnets sit a little lower. You got to take the car lower when you use this clear chassis or this opaque chassis, because the magnets seem to sit just a little bit higher off the rails. So these are 248 rear hubs with this is probably running at like 416 with these slip-on tires. This is 252 rear hub, and then I also have a car with 250. So it gives me 418, and these are 420s. All right, so you got me by a couple of months. Good, you're older than me. No. So I just want to put these cars. I haven't oiled them or anything yet, but I want to see how they run. I really don't want to run those silly sponge tires on my dyno, though. I might put a different rear axle in them. Actually, I might just use this. I might just use this rear end setup on all the cars while I put them on the dyno. Let's see what this thing's doing. Alright, 420 is pretty decent. And again, I haven't even oiled these. I probably should give them a little dab of oil, see how they run. I did get some of that black gold gear lube that, I don't know, Sean, was it you that somebody recommended this, so I picked up some of this. Looks very similar to the lube I used on my fishing rod gears. Same blue color. Probably could have used that. Hey, the dude. Going to give this car a little dab of oil. And I'm going to use a little bit of this grease on the gears. Yeah, all my fusions run pretty good. I assume you don't want to use too much of this grease. It's like a really light grease, which I think is better for these gears in the back, because when I put oil on this gear, it just disappears almost immediately. Well, that's what they say on my fishing reels, that you use grease on gears and oil on the bearings. Kind of makes sense for slot cars too. We're getting closer to 430s there. Oh, it used to come in red. Oh, red's kind of cool. I'm going to put this rear and this my other. I may as well just oil this first before I put it on here. All right, let's see what this car does. Yeah, so this is my primary car. It's a little bit faster than that other car. Yep, I still use Viper oil. I bought it, I might as well use it. I think this Viper oil works pretty good. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how these spec racers are running as far as the dyno numbers. I worked on all these cars after the last race as far as taking them apart and cleaning them and checking the brushes and all that. So I'm not going to really, I don't think I really need to do any full tear downs. This is a new body that I just got. I'm not even sure what this is. Is this supposed to be a Corvette? I don't even know. But it looks pretty cool. That's good to know, because I seem to be the killer of crown gears. I'm always like, I don't know, chipping the teeth. So this is with the 248 rear hubs. You can see this is a .012 tech block. Lost that rear end rolled. The one I was using for testing just rolled off the table and under my generator, of course. Sorry guys, I gotta find that. Of course, it rolled to the dirtiest section under there. My workbench is obviously not level. as I was kind of looking at how this car was sitting on the, yeah, this sitting pretty close. I mean, anything above 412 and this thing's definitely going to be dragging the rails. You can see it. My track has some high spots, so you can see where it's dragging. But I have like 3 different what do I have? 418, 420, 418, and 416 for my spec racers. So I have those 3 different rear end setups to choose from on race day. Let's see how these 420s look. So the 420, yeah, you can see there's a little bit more space on these. A little slightly higher off the rail. Alright, let's see how my ceramic super stock cars are running on the dyno. A little bit of oil. I don't want to wear out these silly sponge tires by running them on the dyno. I'm just going to put this, use the same rear end. Yeah, this car always ran pretty fast. This thing's almost hitting 450. No, I switched from RPM gears because I thought they were too soft. These are actually BSRT gears, which to me they're a little more durable. They don't seem to, the teeth don't seem to roll as easy on these BSRT gears. And I do use the premium gear that BSRT sells. I got most of these bodies from Jay Jap on Facebook. Jay posts on a lot of different slot car related Facebook sites that I'm on, so I always see when he has new stuff. He usually does his bodies in like a group of 100, and he'll post photos. Like he posts them on my Florida HO Racers Club. He posts them on, I think, Rooster Racing's Facebook page. I think on the HO Performance slot car Facebook page he posts his stuff, and he usually puts a number decal, like a white label with a number on the bag, and so you can kind of see the body and what number is on the bag, and you can just text him on, I text Jay on Facebook Messenger, and I just say, hey, I want 32, 15, 24, and he'll put them aside for me and ship them to me. He does three bodies for $50 shipped to your door, and they're pinned and trimmed, which is pretty decent. So yeah, so this is my one and only actually hood. I did not build this car actually, but well, I kind of rebuilt it. I bought this car with this motor and this hood system. It came in an older opaque chassis. I had since moved it into this blue chassis, but these are the same magnets that came with the car. I really haven't done much else to it other than I kept the whole motor assembly together and transplanted it into, so I have yet to buy from scratch the parts to do the hood system. So this car probably is one of my fastest Fusions, and it is my one and only car with the hood system. All the other ones are N-Bell, just because they are a lot easier to work with. This is my other. So this thing was almost hitting 450 on the dyno. Let's see what my other car is looking like. I think these are Jag. I don't remember if these are RPM or Jag pinion gears. Where do I get what at? The BSRT gears I get from BSRT, actually. Well, actually, you can get them from BSRT, but they're a little bit of a pain in the butt with ordering. Like, they don't make it where you can just order online and pay with PayPal. You have to send them an email with which parts you want, so you got to go through the trouble of writing down the part number, how many you want, what the cost is, total it all up, send them an email, and then they'll okay that. And then once they say yes, that's correct as far as the price and the numbers, then you could pay via PayPal, and they'll ship you. But I also get a lot of parts from Steven at Rooster Racing. He gives me some pretty good deals on parts, but I don't always expect to get stuff from Steven. He's not really a parts guy. If he has extra parts, he's usually willing to sell some stuff to you. Like, I got most of my silly sponge tires from Steven. I got my last round of BSRT crown gears from Steven as well. But you can get them right from from BSRT. Hey, nobody. So you can see this car is running pretty good as well. This is close to hitting like 430. Even though this car is a little bit slower than this one, this car with these 414s, it really seemed to handle pretty. It was plenty fast, but it really seemed to handle pretty well. I also use the gears, the crown gears that you can get right from Wizard. What are they? Are they quicker? Hold on, let me look. Yeah, these gears. And they're kind of cool because they're color coded. So like the 20 tooth is red, 21 yellow, 22 white, 23 gray. So you can kind of tell right at a glance on your car what tooth crown gear that is. Though I think the BSRT gears have a little bit smoother mesh to me than these. Maybe I might have to try a couple of different pinion gears with these quicker gears. But the BSRT, actually, this combination, this is actually a Jag pinion gear with BSRT crown gear. That makes for a pretty smooth mesh. Yeah, I get my orange ones from Jag as well. I've also gotten a couple of the orange ones from RPM. The orange one's a little bit harder, so it kind of worries me that maybe if you pair up a harder pinion gear with a not as hard crown gear, that might be what's kind of chewing up the teeth on my crown gears, because I'm going to be curious to... I've still been kind of researching that in my head and trying to... I mean, I know if you crash, I guess you could hit the gear and damage a tooth, but it always seems like after a race, when I look at the teeth on my crown gears, I have at least one, maybe two teeth that looks a little bit rolled or slightly damaged. It's kind of annoying. I think I should be able to get more than one race out of a crown gear. I mean, if it's because I'm crashing, then it's my own fault, but if it's because I'm not using the right combination of pinion gear with the crown gear, then I want to figure that out too. So anyway, these are Victory silly sponge tires. Anytime, Sean. All right, let's put these bodies all back on. This body's pretty cool. This fits nice and low. This body's getting a bit beat up, but I think I can at least do one more race with it. So we'll run some laps in a minute with all these cars. I got to turn on my timing system. Well, not every time, nobody, but it does seem like after one race, I look at my crown gear and I could see that some of the teeth are slightly rolled or just, I don't know. Sometimes I can survive one race in the crown gear, and I've tried several different crown gears. The RPM gears, especially when they were purple, they were way too soft. Those things damaged and rolled way too easily. The newer RPM purple, which is not purple anymore, it almost looks like the BSRT. It's a little bit lighter gray color. Those were better, but those still seem to damage fairly easy to me. These BSRT gears seem to be better. They seem to be a little bit more durable. And I'll be honest with you, the black Viper gear, those gears are pretty durable, and they're actually not bad. I have them in a couple of cars, and those things seem to hold up pretty well. I do want to, real quick, I want to look at my IROC cars and get these ready, because we're going to run, I have two different sets in here, Viper, V-Spec, and the Super 7s. Just want to take a quick look at how these cars all look. They should be very similar on the downforce, like in the 120s, if I remember correctly, with these Super 7s. ended up putting these Lexan NASCAR bodies on the Super 7s because they seem to fit better with these Lexan body clips that are on these. Whoa, why is that car so high? What the heck? Why is that 145 and the rest of these cars were all in the 120s? See, that's annoying. Now I gotta figure that out. Yeah, these three are all in the... Oh, I think I remember what it was. I think one of these cars, for some reason, the rear tires were a little bit lower. Although I thought I sorted that out. I don't get why this car would be in the 140s. Yeah, we were looking at those quicker gears. I have some of the quicker gears that I got from Wizard. I've never tried them with a Tyco pinion gear though. I'll have to try that. So that's a quicker gear. This white gear. And that's a BSRT. These are 22 tooth gears. And these are Viper gears. And I got a whole bunch of different different crown gears. These are 22 tooth. I just ordered some new 23 tooth gears because I'm running low on the 23s. These are the quicker 23 tooth gear. It's more of a dark gray. These are pretty good. I think these are even a little more durable than the BSRT, but they don't seem to have as good a gear mesh to me, at least with the pinion gears that I've been using. I mean, they're good, just the BSRTs seem really smooth. See you, Sean. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to see if I took, let's see here. Why is this one car have more downforce? This is about a 120 on the blue car, and this red car is like closer to, is in the 140s. Let's try this rear end with this car. Let's just see if it's a tire size that's causing it. Yeah, definitely more downforce with this rear end. We're up in the 130s now. Let's see if I put this rear end on the red car. If this goes down. Nah, it's still in the 140s. I don't know what the deal is with these magnet. Whoa, look at the big chip out of that tire. That is not good. That's disappointing. I don't know that I have another tire that I can... I gotta look. I have some spare tires, but I don't know if they're the exact size. I was gonna have Steven send me some of his newer, like the pinkish red tire that he's using. Alright, well, I gotta figure something out with this red car. No, I don't want more downforce. These are an IROC set. I want the downforce to be the same on all four of them, but for some reason, and these are all configured the same way from Rooster Racing, but this car just seems to have more downforce. Yep, it's up in the like 140s where the other ones are in the 120s. It's not quite as high with this rear end. Yeah, still hitting 140. I mean, I know everybody would race that car, so it shouldn't matter too much, but I gotta check the tire diameter on these cars. I have a feeling they're not all the same, though they're supposed to be like 436s. These tires chip pretty easy. I think these are Viper albinos on here. Yeah, I know. And I have a race Saturday, so I don't know that I can get parts in time. I have to see what I really wanted to use these as our IROC set, these Super 7s, for the IROC race that we always do. But I'll figure something out. I should be able to get them going, but yeah, that's not good. That's like almost half the tire. That needs to go. I let my buddies race we raced these last weekend here on my home track, and they got a little bit abused. I wonder if I have a tire I could use. Let me see what size tire this is real quick. It should be, yeah, see, that's loose on 438. Barely even stays in on 436, but it does kind of it almost feels more like a 434. Problem is, whenever I have a tire go bad, I put the other tire in here, and I didn't label anything, so these are all different size tires. Well, the purple ones, I know what those are, but the black and white ones could be all different sizes. See if I could look at one of them and see if it looks... See if I can get this tire off of here. Oh boy, I almost just dumped that whole thing of tires. And this one feels a little bit tighter on 436 even than this side. Yeah, but these are brand new chassis. These magnets are pretty well paired. I'm surprised that, you know, 3 of them are pretty much spot on, and this one is 20 points higher than the other 3. So, I don't know. Seems a little odd to me. Really don't know if I have a feeling these might be too big, all these tires that I have. Yeah, this is closer to a 438, 440. Oh, I think I found one. I think I found one that's a pretty good match. 436. Pretty loose on 438. This one's pretty loose. Just barely catches on 436. So does that one. Yeah, I think that'll work pretty good. At least it's not missing a big chunk of the tire. I'm pretty sure I checked that all of these were in high downforce. Yeah, these are already all in high downforce mode. Who knows, maybe it's the way the magnet's sitting in the chassis even. Where's that chip tire? I guess I'm throwing that one out. Let's see how this looks. Alright, 435. Still closer to 440. Yep, it'll do for race day. And they are IROC cars, so everybody gets to drive it. So they get so the red car, when they drive the red lane, it might handle a little better. It has a little bit more downforce. It's not the end of the world for an IROC set. How do the rest of these other tires look? That blue car looks pretty good. White car has a little bit of a chip, but that's on the outside. It's not too bad. Nowhere near as bad as that red tire. And the yellow car is the same way. So these came from Rooster Racing. These are Rooster Racing Super 7s. But they only make 2 types of magnets for the Super 7. They make a level 6 and a level 10. And the level 10 magnets are black. These are not black. These are that like grayish color. So I really don't think it's a different... Well, actually, you know what? That's a good thought. Hold on, let me get my other meter. We can actually look at the strength of the individual magnets. Now, I don't know about the motor magnets. It could also be the motor magnet, maybe... is a little stronger in that car. I kind of feel like I went through this already and I looked at the magnets and they were a similar strength from the red car to any of the other ones. I think they all measured pretty much the same individual strength. All right, let's see what this thing measures. This is measuring about a 57. This other one is also 56.4, so pretty close. So 56, 57. Let's see what the blue car magnets look like. Oh, definitely the dude. If you get too strong of a magnet, it definitely will slow the car down. Yeah, same thing, 56, 57. So I really don't think it's the magnets. Yeah, 56. Same strength on the individual magnet, so. Where the heck did it put those? Oh, there we go. So this blue car is coming in at like 125, 126, and let me put the magnets back in this red chassis. I guess I could put the magnets in the low down force on the red car, see what it brings it down to. Yeah, say 140, 143. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe the motor magnets are a little stronger in this car. I don't really have a way. I don't really feel like pulling apart these can motors just to test the. So you know what? I'm just gonna live with it. Like I said, it's an IROC set, so it's not the end of the world. Take a quick look at how these cars run on the dyno. I'm not going to go ahead and oil them all right now. I'll oil them on race day. I think these all fall in the mid 3s to almost 4. About to turn it to the lower setting. That just woke up. That blue car. Did you hear that? Now we're up in the fours. You think so? Try putting it. I don't know. It without the rear. Oh, I guess I could do that and put the rear axle back in. So at least somebody's thinking. Somebody around here is thinking. It's certainly not me. Okay, so this is the red car without the traction magnets. It's pulling like a 29. Yeah. 29 with the tire right up against the stop there. 29. Let's see what this blue car does. Yeah, it is a little bit stronger. 25. That's about 4 points there. Yeah, 30. So, all right, a little bit stronger motor magnet. Makes up some of the difference. I haven't even really done a full race with these Super 7s, so I don't even think they're really fully broken in yet as far as the brushes go. Come on. I'm gonna have to fix the tape on this blue body again. Pain in the ass. All right, let's take a look at these last two cars, see how they run on the dyno. what I noticed with these Super 7s. They start off slow and then they kind of rev up. This one's going a little more slowly up, but it's creeping up there. Oh, there it goes, I just heard it. Got a little kick there. Yeah. So these cars all run pretty similar. I think it's a good IROC set. Yeah, I was wondering how that car ran on your AFX track. I'm glad you like it. They're definitely good running cars, there's no doubt about it. Gonna run a few laps with my Fusions, and I'll probably call it. Like I said, I think I know which cars I'm gonna start with as my primary cars, but you guys like that view, or you like the higher up view better, where it's higher and then I angle this down, or do you like it more level with the track? That looks pretty good, I think. Got almost the whole track there. box stock Super 7. Do a few laps with that. Yeah, the track is a little slick. It's going to take a few laps to where it doesn't get 40 off. .4 seconds, about what I'm running with this car. 3.3, 3.2, 3.1. Wow, cleaning the tires made a big difference. Not too bad for the stock Super 7. See how my Viper spec stock runs. So this car just did under 3 seconds, 2.97. Car handles pretty good. Alright, I'm going to run my Spec Racer fusions. One of the pickup shoe springs is sticking out at a very odd angle under the pickup shoe on this car. What's up with that? might have a harder time with your stopwatch seeing these cars. That was a 2.68 second lap. Man. 2.58. .55, so this is my primary car. This thing is smooth. It handles like a dream. Yeah. Like every lap I'm in the 2.5s with this car. And I know I've gotten into the 2.4s with this car. So this is definitely going to be my primary car for Saturday for the spec racer class. This car is not far behind. I bet if I put this rear end in this car, I could do almost as quick. We'll have to see. These cars are very close. Very close. Do a few laps with my ceramic super stock cars. Yeah, pretty close. So, oh, there, I just did a better lap, 2.55. .54, and that's without really pushing it too hard. So very fast car. It's very close as far as which car I'm going to go with for my ceramic super stock cars. I'll have to see how they run on the track at Hero. Which one handles better? .252. So there you go. This car is deceptively fast. To me, it doesn't seem faster than the other car, but it does faster lap times. Yeah, every lap is in the low 2.5s. Pretty happy with both the ceramic super stock cars and how they're running. Yeah, those ceramic super stock cars do run really smooth. All right, guys, I'm going to clean up my mess here and put everything away, and I think I'm just going to relax for the rest of the day. I really should go to Costco, but I don't feel like dealing with Costco on a Sunday. I think I'm going to go during the week. I need to get my hair cut too, but I'm too lazy and I don't even want to do that. Though I might still do the haircut. What time is it? 3:46? We'll see. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off for now as well. And wow, I've been on for almost 2 hours. It didn't feel like that long. I'll probably maybe try and go live one more time before Saturday. And I'll do some video from the track. Unfortunately, my T-Mobile service stinks out at the Vero track. I can never get a live feed going, so I'll try and at least shoot some footage so I can show that on my channel. Thanks, Mike. See ya, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bye.
I'm gonna go to Starbucks.
Okay.